Feeling good? Like ek pani, like just go
Yeah,
walk around a bit.
no, it's fine. It's just this little camera thing. Yeah.
Don't do it the camera, it's not even there. Like,
I know,
Yeah.
but I know it exists.
No, you don't have, you can just talk to Stan or me.
Hi everyone, I'm Stanislav Sirakov, General Partner at Pentchev Ventures. Today, I'm meeting you from LAUNCHUS Development Center in Sofia. We met with the company for the first time in 2012, and I've been a true witness of the company's great development. Not only that I have grown amazingly, but I have been a true supporter for the Bulgarian startup ecosystem. Recently, LAUNCHUS announced acquisition from CleverTap. And today, I'm here with the founders, Munchiu, Suresh, and Anand, in order to share some of the development and the plans for the future of the joint company. Hi guys, pleasure to be here today. Really exciting times. So what's your vision for the future of the joint company?
I always, when I think about where we need to go as a company and as an industry, frankly, I always go back to my childhood when I was growing up, and my mom had this boutique clothing store that she was kind of just doing on her own, but she was really good at building relationships with her customers, right? So she would remember people's names, she remembered their preferences, and then let's say she got a new shipment of clothing, maybe a red dress, and then she starts calling people and say, hey, I got this red dress, so I'll just keep it for you, just come on by and check it out. And it felt like she wasn't just selling things, she was actually almost curating an experience for customers, and they almost felt like she was their fashion stylist in a way, not just a seller. And it created this win-win where the customer felt like they're getting more than just buying things, and then she was getting really good loyal customers as a result of it, right? And I'm sure all of us have examples of this, like your local coffee shop or whatever, and this is kind of our expectation of what really good relationship with a brand or a store in this case needs to be. And this works really well in the physical world, right? At a scale of maybe 100 people, local neighborhood store. Now, marketing technology over the last 40 years, really the main thing that we've been trying to do is how do we take this example and scale it to billions of people digitally on the internet, right? And it turns out this is actually the hardest problem to solve in marketing tech. And it's not a solved problem. In fact, we have generations of technology and we've been able to get closer and closer to it. For example, the smartphone was a leap forward because all of a sudden you have a device that's always on you. It's the most personal device that we've ever owned in terms of computing. But yet we're still not there where if you're interacting with brands, with apps, every interaction feels like this intelligent agent sitting inside and actually knowing who you are and building relationships, right? And I think fundamentally, it really boils down to a data problem, right? In our industry, this, at the end of the day, is all about data. And I think solving the technology is really what is going to enable us to provide this experience, the digital experience, to feel very much like the local store experience. And that's really our vision as a company.
Momchil, I appreciate where the example you gave. This is a real thing, like offering curated experiences. It is also one of the reasons that we started the company. Like, can we invent technology that can at scale offer these curated, hyper-personalized experiences to every single person that shows up on the website? And that's truly what we did, right? We couldn't find anything that was out there. So we invented our own technology. It's called Tesseract DB. What it lets you do as a business is store every single interaction of the user on Tesseract, but also makes it available for you as a business to use that intelligence and apply it to the user to give them a superlative experience, right? When they're on your site, or whether you're sending them a product recommendation, or when you're talking to them, that whole conversation with the user becomes very meaningful. And in this case, I truly believe that technology unlocks innovation. We have seen this happen at Asia scale. In CleverTap, we serve some of the largest brands. What I very clearly see is by the end of this year, reaching $100 million ARR mark. And in about 5 years, I am very confident that we'll reach $500 million ARR, which is $500 million of revenue, which is amazing, right? Now, revenue is a proxy for what kind of problems you can solve for customers and how happy your customers are. So truly, when I say the revenue numbers, it actually means we'll be solving problems for some of the largest digital brands globally and extremely deep problems they can trust us with.
I'm very excited about what is in front of us. The team in Sofia has always been a core part of LAUNCHUS' journey, and this journey continues now on a bigger and more powerful rocket ship. Two components will be key in achieving our ambitious goals. One is the talent in our team, and two is the access to talent in the ecosystem. The challenges in front of us in terms of technical challenges are even bigger than before. And we will continue hiring and building top engineering talent for our Sofia site. The scale is just crazy that we need to serve. We are processing petabytes of data. We are serving data streams from over 3 billion devices in more than 100 countries. So we need the brightest minds to find innovative solutions. Just in the next couple of months, we want to grow our team by 20%, and this is only the beginning. We are opening roles for front-end, back-end, QA, and mobile engineers.
So it seems like a really a big tangible problem for mobile engagement and for the mobile market. But how the combined company would look like? Why are you joining forces?
From the market perspective, we really have a strong footprint in mobile-first markets like India, Southeast Asia, South America. And the Leanplum historically has a good presence in North America and Europe. So it seems like a good fit. And lastly, the team size, we mentioned earlier, it's a really hard problem from the engineering perspective. We have a great access here in Bulgaria, great access to the engineering teams here. And I thought bringing these hard problems and hard and challenging problems on the table, it would excite the team here. And I think it's overall is a good fit.
I'm actually really excited about all the capabilities we can bring to the Leanplum customers from a CleverTap point of view. Some things, probably the most important is the Tesseract DB. I truly think this is an innovation in our industry, the ability to process things at much larger scale that we can handle today, at blazing speeds, and frankly with no limitations around the data, right? This is really what it boils down to create the full context for the customer. A lot of the solutions on the market today have a lot of limitations, and that's really hampering the ability for marketers to be able to do their job. And that also unlocks things around just basic things like advanced segmentation capabilities, predictive segmentation, more advanced AI, ML, recommendation systems, a lot of functionality that CleverTap has developed specifically around e-commerce that I'm excited about, things like product catalogs and so on, and other things around orchestration as well. So all of these capabilities will be net new capabilities that our Leanplum customers will be able to really get access to. And that means they will be much better at doing their job as marketers and be able to get more, be able to build better relationship with their customers today.
Yeah, what I admire about the Leanplum team is they're focused on verticals. For example, developing a gaming specific solution, live ops capabilities, product A/B testing, and we've been admiring them from a distance, for the last few years. What they did was they rolled out recipes. So as a marketer, you could just follow the recipe and you can achieve success. I'm looking forward to kind of incorporating those things into the product to make this the best product that is out there that solves retention and user engagement problems at scale for a variety of different verticals, whether you are in the gaming industry, whether it's in the on-demand, streaming apps, subscription apps, e-commerce, you name it and we got it. And also doing this at a global scale, right? CleverTap, like Suresh mentioned, primarily emerging markets first or mobile markets first, while Leanplum is more of North America and Europe, and that truly completes the globe for us, right? So with the best product out there, we can go to every single market that's out there and serve every single customer segment for us. So that's the reason we're joining the forces.
With all the privacy concerns of the last few years, marketing has become much more about retention and engagement of a loyal customer base, and much less about acquisition of new users. And in that environment, it's important for you to be able to post your message and change your product experience across different channels, mobile, web, email. The problem is that in order to do that, you need a very broad set of functionality. And if you want this broad set of functionality, you can opt for buying multiple products from multiple vendors, where you'll spend 6 months or more in integrating them, and then in the end you won't be happy with the results. You'll see a lot of limitations, you won't have a single source of truth, and in the end of the day there will be a lot of confusion in your customer base. So imagine you can get a push notification with a 20% off special offer. You open it, you land on the mobile app, and it's 10% off. You won't like that as a consumer, right? So you need to make sure that all of those things are in sync. We believe that companies nowadays need a single end-to-end product with single source of truth. If you have that, you won't have this integration time, and you'll be able to serve your customers in the best possible way. Now, how is that possible with all the functionality that we offer? Our data science team has calculated that if you have good messaging across channels, if you segment your audience using micro-segments based on behavior, if you trigger your messages in exactly the right time, and you personalize your message exactly for every user, you can get up to 7 times better results of your marketing campaigns. All of that is enabled by the technology of the combined company. We believe we'll be the only company offering all of that in a single package for retention and the best ROI on the market.
So Suresh mentioned about like how hard of a problem, how deep of a problem this is, and also touch point on the local office in Bulgaria. But Momchu, from your perspective, what does that mean for the local ecosystem in Bulgaria, for the local team in Bulgaria?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this aspect because frankly, our role in the ecosystem is going to change a little bit. We've historically played the role of being the early to mid-stage startup that was getting funding rounds done, and we're able to attract talent that wanted to build products and in Bulgaria that essentially touch every user around the world, and it's really a global scale. Now we're going to be more of a late-stage company, right? I think the combined company is going to have 600 employees around the world, and we're on target to reach 100 million in revenue by the end of the year. Still not a public company, so it's still in the growing phase, startup. But for people that want to experience that, I think we'll be pretty uniquely positioned in the market, and we'll be able to deliver that. And then the other thing I think is really important is really the kinds of problems that we solve at Leanplum are probably a little bit different from what I've seen being kind of solved in the market here in Sofia. We've always positioned ourselves as the place where if you want to go and work at internet scale, that's a really good place to go. Now with the combination with CleverTap, literally everything to do with scale is going to be 10x of that, right? So even more interesting problems, even more data to process in real time. And that's frankly exciting for me. I was an engineer at Google about 10 years ago. And I remember when you worked at Google, that was probably the coolest part, was just the kinds of interesting, challenging problems you had to solve, distributed systems and really flow of data and all that. And I'm really excited because we don't have a Google or a Facebook office in Bulgaria, but the next best will be the CleverTap Leanplum office here.
Talking about the talent here, so I've been tracking the engineers from this area, from Bulgaria. So they rank pretty high in the global competition stage. So obviously, it's a dream for a good engineer to work on problems mentioned here. From the combined entity perspective, we have a major engineering hub in Mumbai, India, and this will be the second engineering hub for us. So we are already planning to grow it to 20% by the end of 2022. So exciting times.
One of the most exciting technical capabilities is CleverTap's innovative backend systems. Combined with Leanplum's technological and experience and background, we believe we would be able to build some really scalable product features and also solve any hard problem that would come with them. I'm also thrilled that besides from a big data company, we will become a next generation machine learning mobile data platform. This will open not only technical problems, but some exciting data science problems as well for our team.
So having so many people and having two different engineering centers, we should talk about culture and how the whole integration of the two companies will happen. So can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when you try to integrate two companies, it boils down to integrating the people of those companies, right? And I think you're absolutely right. Culture is actually the secret ingredient. It just so happened that in many ways, both of our companies have arrived at very similar values. It's very convenient. I think most times when companies get acquired, that's actually not the case. I've only heard horror stories about how, the new company destroyed the culture, or, there wasn't alignment and all that stuff. And no, I think what we're seeing here is actually we have similar values, and I think that's really key to make sure that everybody's going in the same direction.
I think that's a very important point. Culture is what drives the company, and culture is something that holds the people together. What I realized was, as our companies took separate paths, we arrived at the same conclusion, right? Bias for action, for example, is one of our cultural values, which I see this, in Leanplum team too. For example, think from first principles. That's also a cultural tenet for us, and we've seen that here as well, right? We are culturally so similar, and we are driven by the same values that it's very easy. As I kind of interact more with more team members, it just feels like I'm talking to the same team that I'm talking to in Mumbai, and that's that's a phenomenal way to start the integration of the company, but more importantly, integration of the people. So I'm very confident, that within a very short period of time, we'll be able to do that and work with single objective as one team, and we'll go build phenomenal products.
From a technical point of view, this is very exciting because of the large scale at which we operate, and now the scale becomes even larger, 3 billion devices.
What excites me is the opportunity. I think we have the opportunity to build the next generation marketing technology that can solve the user engagement problem in a very individualized way. I'm very excited to see what we can build together with our experiences combined.
So similar culture, it seems like that the whole process of integration would be a breeze. But can you tell us a bit more? What do you like about each other? How do you came with this kind of thing together?
Yeah, what I admire about Leanplum and everyone at Leanplum is how deeply have they thought about this problem of hyper-personalization, of delivering a special experience assessment for you, and I see this in their product, and I also see that how they use this this vision to serve some of the largest brands globally, right? Whether it's Papa John's, whether it's Tesco, Ted, Big Fish Games, and it's a dream for us to be able to serve these kind of brands.
Yeah, and then for me, I actually remember when I first met Anand and Suresh, and I got the opportunity to finally look under the hood and see what's actually there. I was extremely impressed with the core technology, the Tesseract DB that you guys have built. And I do believe that at the end of the day, this innovation gets unlocked with technology, right? And the reason why I was impressed with Tesseract is because most of the times when you build technology, you kind of have one of two paths that you take. You either building a really powerful, flexible engine that can serve all sorts of use cases, or you build a more kind of cost-effective solution in the market, right? You're the low-cost carrier in the market, right? And that both strategies work. However, in the case of Tesseract DB, I think what you guys have done is you've actually done both. Because Tesseract, what it does is it's basically broadly applicable across every possible industry, and it's very kind of versatile, very powerful, very deep. At the same time, it's extremely cost efficient. And I think of maybe the best other example that I can think of like that is kind of like Tesla, where Tesla is the clear global leader disrupting an already existing marketplace of vehicles with their technology, which is purpose-built for electric vehicles, right? There wasn't any technology to do, so they invented it. And they have both the most cost-effective batteries in the world, but they also have the most like highest range batteries and probably the most powerful engines, right? The fastest cars, right? So they can do both. And the reason they did that is because they actually did true innovation. And what we've done here is, and what you guys have built with Tesseract is true innovation. I think, we almost have a duty in a way to serve, because in marketing technology, we've been waiting for this innovation to happen for 40 years. And for a variety of reasons, we just didn't have the capabilities to do that. And our duty now is to really bring it to the world and enable teams and brands and marketers around the world to become, in many ways, super marketers, to really have the ability to finally fulfill this promise of personalized, individualized marketing and engagement.
So guys, thanks a lot. Was great pleasure to speak again with you, and maybe a couple of final words.
For me, I feel very, very excited about the future. In many ways, it almost feels like, the Leanplum story to date is kind of the first chapter of the book, and now I can't wait to see what's the story in the second chapter, frankly. I'm really excited to see how that goes, and a very, very exciting future. We have tremendous potential ahead, and really, really honored to be joining forces with you guys and be able to capture that opportunity together.
Yeah, I think for me, the 1 + 1 coming together to form 11 is something that I'm seeing right in front of my eyes happening, right? As the teams kind of combine, as products combine, a global market, global opportunity for us, and it's something that's like, I'm like Momchil, like, I can't wait to see this kind of play out.
Yeah, same here for me. Really, really excited about the incredible opportunity we have as a combined entity. We talked about technology, we talked about the good features about this Leanplum, and can't really wait in terms of taking this to our customers and see the excitement in there.
I could also cannot wait to see you probably in 6 months' time again here in Sofia and see how the whole things are developing. Okay, thanks a lot and it was a pleasure.